Tesla currently has 4 mass-produced models in the market, and all of them are doing extremely well. They've all been around for a while now and really established Tesla as a dominant player in the EV world. And on top of that, on top of the current lineup, we also know that the Cybertruck, the next generation Roadster, and the Semi are all coming pretty soon. But there's still missing an important segment in the $5 trillion automotive marketplace. There's another upcoming model that could be more important to Tesla than all the models I just mentioned combined. A model that could possibly account for 50% or more of the total sales numbers moving forward. And I'm talking, of course, about the $25,000 hatchback called the Tesla Model 2. It's been reported that the cheapest Tesla EV will go on sale in 2023, but we all know that Tesla's timeline can be a bit optimistic at times. Realistically, I don't see that happening for at least a couple of years from now, with customers' deliveries starting a year or two after that. There has been a few reports about the model being accelerated to 2022 though, and we'll see. I guess it's only a year from now, so we'll see if that comes into play or not. With a $25,000 entry price, Tesla will attract a brand new audience, namely the mass market of buyers, and it could potentially completely dominate the entry-level EV market when you factor in the infrastructure already built around Tesla. At the 2020 Tesla Battery Day event, Musk had said, in 3 years we can make a $25,000 car that will basically be on par with, maybe slightly even better than, a comparable gasoline car. The biggest news, of course, with the Tesla Model 2 is that it will be priced at $25,000 at the base price, but you could possibly be able to get your hands on one for way less than that. And how do you do that? Well, the Tesla Model 2 could cost as low as $18,000 if the Biden administration passes the Green Act. This bill would triple the federal tax credit cap for electric vehicles. So what exactly does all this mean? Well, at the moment, Tesla has surpassed the 200,000 cars sold cap and isn't eligible for a federal tax credit under the current rules. However, the new proposal here will be offered on 600,000 vehicles from each automaker instead of the current cap at 200,000 vehicles. If accepted, that means that 400,000 more vehicles from Tesla will be eligible for federal tax credit up to $7,000, which is 500 less than the first cap. And keep in mind that this is without factoring in any state credits, which will bring down the effective price even lower. There is, however, a problem with this if we want to apply the tax credit to the Model 2. So let's have a look at the numbers here. Tesla delivered 235,000 cars in the US in 2020 and close to 500,000 cars worldwide in the same year. This means that at this rate, Tesla would have exhausted its new cap of 600,000 cars in less than 2 years. On top of that, the sales aren't exactly slowing down, so if we have a look at the start of 2021, it's even stronger, delivering 184,800 Teslas around the world, resulting in Tesla's best quarter ever since the start 13 years ago. We also don't really know much about the Green Act, or if it will pass or when it will pass, but with the higher sales number here, it's likely that the current Tesla models are the ones that will benefit from this bill and not the $25,000 hatchback, unless it's unveiled next year and goes into production immediately after that. So what about the performance here? Well, you shouldn't expect too much since it's a $25,000 EV. But at the same time, the Model 2 will be equipped with a new type of battery technology with 4,680 cells. Now, the big news about this battery technology is that it will cut the battery production cost in half and will be available as soon as next year. That will be in 2022. The Tesla Model 2 is aimed directly at the Volkswagen ID.3, which is doing extremely well right now. It's clear that the new Tesla will favor range over 0 to 60 and top speed performance. So exactly how much range are we looking at here? How much can we expect to get from the Tesla Model 2 once it comes out? No less than 250 miles to start with. My guess is that it will be about the same as, or a similar range to the lowest range that Tesla currently has to offer, and that is in this Model 3 Standard Range Plus with 263 miles. Back in July 2020, after the Standard Range Model Y was taken down and cancelled, Musk tweeted that the range of fewer than 250 miles is basically unacceptably low. So it's clear it will be more than 250 miles of range on a single charge for the Tesla Model 2. Now, talking about the design and the style here, there's no real word on exactly what this new Model 2 will look like, but it's pretty certain it will be Tesla's first hatchback, since we already have 2 sedans, 1 crossover, 1 SUV, a pickup truck, and of course the sports car in the Roadster. The only popular niche that is left is the very popular, specifically in the European market, the hatchbacks. It also makes sense to offer a hatch as the cheapest design. It wouldn't really make sense to make another crossover in the same size as the Model Y, and it wouldn't make sense to add another sedan to the lineup either. So it really would make sense to make the Model 2 into a proper looking hatchback. And such a model could be a clean sheet design that might not be based all that closely on the Model 3. However, if you think about it, I think the Model 2 will be based on the Model 3 for 2 reasons. First of all, it cuts costs. So if you create a hatchback on the same platform as the Model 3, it's going to cut costs by a lot if you just redesign the rear end of the Model 3 and turn that into a hatchback. Second thing is, if you take, for example, the interior from the Model 3 and the Model Y and add that into the Model 2, I don't think that's going to be such a big deal, because we're attracting a large group of new buyers that have probably not experienced Teslas yet, so to them the interior will be brand new, even though it's directly copied from the Model 3 and Y, and on top of that you would save a lot of money doing that as well. So that would be my approach to getting the Model 2 out as quickly as possible, so it can compete with the ID.3 and also be out there on the marketplace and bring in more sales for Tesla as quickly as possible. Rather have the designs that we already have and implement that in the Model 2 than to develop years and years of new designs. That's also a lot more expensive, and once the Model 2 is out on the market at that time, it might already be too late, if that makes sense. So I want to quickly show you what I think the Model 2 could look like based on the current Tesla design language and using the information we have available today. So when we talk about the design here, as I said, I think we're going to really have a very similar design to the Tesla Model 3. I really think that Tesla is going to take the Model 3 and just redesign the rear end of it, because, as I said, it makes sense for a lot of reasons, and those reasons were the ones I just mentioned a while ago. And I think it's also, this is kind of a design, the Model 3 and the Model Y, that don't really feel like they've aged a lot yet. It's a very safe design. There's not a lot of crazy styling going on. It's a very subtle design and proportions, and I think this type of design could still be relevant and could still be attractive, let's say 5-10 years from now. So it could apply to the Model 2, and I think Tesla's biggest worry now is to just get this car out to the public as quickly as possible, so that it can actually take part of this massive share that are small entry-level EVs that are coming out now from all kinds of manufacturers. It's time for Tesla to jump in and just take the Model 3 and redesign it and put the Model 2 out on the market, and hopefully we can get the tax credit as well, so we get an even lower entry price at about $19,000, which makes it an insane crazy good deal, because that would be cheaper than most smaller cars that we have out today that are internal combustion engines. Some other features that we think the $25,000 Tesla Model 2 will have is a single motor setup for the base trim. That's pretty obvious since we have that in the Model 3 as well now. 0 to 60 time in around 7 seconds or so, and the power will probably be around 200 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque, and it will be available with autopilot since Elon Musk has actually confirmed this.